So now that you know how to calculate density, we're going to learn how to compare different densities. So here's a way to affect density. So you can change the mass but keep the volume the same. So if you increase the mass, you're going to increase the density. If you're going to decrease the mass, you're going to decrease the density. So look at the two containers. Which container has more density? Notice they have the same volume, same size container. So this guy over here would have larger density, right? There's more stuff inside the same amount of volume. So another way to affect density is to change the volume but keep the mass the same. So if you increase the volume, you're going to decrease the density. If you decrease the volume, you're going to increase the density. So look at these containers. Which one has more density? This is going to be container B again. Look, you have the same amount of stuff but in a smaller amount of space. See, this stuff has more space to move around. So I want you to draw what two ways could we increase the density of this guy. Well, we just learned it, right? We could keep the mass the same, but decrease the space there is. So we could keep the stuff inside the same, keep the space smaller. Or we could add the amount of stuff inside and keep the volume the same. So those are the two ways you can make the density bigger. Let's now take a look at layers of liquid. So if you pour together liquids that don't mix together and they have different densities, they're going to form liquid layers. You're going to do a lab like this. The liquid with the highest density will be on the bottom. The liquid with the lowest density will be on the top. Objects or substances with more density will sink below objects or substances with less density. So which do you think is more dense, water or oil? Think about your favorite Italian salad dressing to answer this question. Okay, it's definitely water. Here is an example of water, oil, and a super ball. The oil is less dense than water, so it's on top. The super ball is less dense than water, but it's more dense than the oil, so it's going to be right in the middle. It's going to float on top of the water. It's going to sink in the oil. So if you have two or more substances, the more dense substance will be on bottom and the less dense substance will be on top. So here's the density of 5 liquids. Draw a picture of all 5 liquids in a test tube and how they would layer according to the density. So this is how they'd look. Liquid 5 would be on the top, it's the lightest, then liquid 3, 1, 2, and then 4. 4 would be the heaviest. It's going to be lightest to heaviest going down. Check out this picture. Which layer do you think would be the highest density? Which layer would be the lowest density? Imagine that these liquids have these densities. Which number would go with each layer? So the green one would have the highest density, the yellow one would have the lowest density, and the numbers would be as follows. The top one would be 3, the blue one would be 5, the red one would be 6, and the green one would be 10. So lowest to highest, going down. Again, which liquid with the highest density? The one on the bottom, so the golden syrup. Which liquid would have the lowest density? The one on top, the oil. Which liquid has the middle density? The one in the middle, the water. Try this on your own. Here are the densities. Please label them. Okay, let's check your work. So going down, the top would be 3, and then 7, and then 9, and then 10, and then 12, and then 15. Okay, so I'm hoping you're getting this, and if not, bring your questions to class.